Okay. And now transparent red iron oxide again, even thinner. You don't have to apply it everywhere. I'll need a little bit more. Transparent iron oxide is basically the transparent version of burnt sienna. And don't forget, you can let this dry and then you can scrub it out as well. And I can just see a little bit of the green showing through, not a tremendous amount. I've worked this down now, it's more paint. Very little medium, well actually there's no medium left because I rinsed my brush. Whoops, too much paint. Too much paint. That's okay, we can work that out. But I'm looking at all the negative space now, the negative pockets of air around the pieces. The face that's going to be here, I do want to break out with some broken acrylic. So let's put that like that. Get a fresh baby wipe. Dry that for like 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, up to 10. And crumple that up like so. And just start. You can do that if you want, you don't have to. You can basically do it as now. You can see where there's the bump. You can see that line coming through. That's going to be a little bit too prominent in the page. Now again, if you're just playing, no big deal. I'm going to break that up. A little bit of crimson. I'm going to break that up just a little bit. Because the face is going to be there, that's definitely going to show. See? There we go. I like the hits of red there. I like that. That's kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that. Look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? We don't need no stinking stencils. That's really neat. That is neat. Been doing this for a long time and I still get amazed on some of the things that I end up doing. That's cool. Small things amuse me. Small things amuse me. But let's not get too distracted. That happens to me all the time. I'm always forever getting distracted. But I like that. So let's keep it like that. Okay. Time to start painting our face, or drawing our face first, then painting. I don't know if the paint's actually going to stick to this, or the pencil I should say. Let's dry this first. I'm going to move the paint aside, and then we'll start to draw. So this is all dry now. Now you can get a regular sketching pencil or watercolor pencil, whatever you want to do. And I'm looking now at this. I'm not going to count this in as a measurement, but I'm looking about putting a face. I can either put the face here, and then she's going to have her neck coming around here. So let's just get that set right in here. Okay? Because I do know that I want to put the stamp of the butterfly right there, which will be basically almost in her chest. So if I think of her chest being here, I think of her face coming here. And I actually don't even need all the tendrils. I can come down here. So that's going to be, I'm thinking right there. It'll be almost like a half face. And so I can think of in here, if the top of her head is here, and there's my upside down egg, and it goes off the page. That's why I didn't tear this, okay, because I didn't want to have it affect how my drawing was going to be. Okay, when you draw your upside down egg, you can refine the shape after, okay? Don't spend too much time on it now. So thinking that's where her chest is going to be, so her neck is going to come out like this. So I'm going to just put this here. Her neck will come out like this, and then her shoulders. Maybe make her shoulders a bit more broad. And I'm using a watercolor pencil because I can make better corrections. Then the stamp is going to be right here. Okay, so there is my egg. Okay, so I'm visualizing from my template the face being drawn in half. Okay, and then in half again. All right, so I'm thinking if it was in half here to here, I'm looking here, so I figure I'm going to put the nose right about here. So let's half, so the mouth. Now I wonder if I can go to a red for the mouth. Will it show? No. The watercolor pencils are not, I don't think are going to show. We may end up having to paint this. So that's going to be the mouth, then the lip, upper lip, go up a bit, the nose, up. So I'm thinking the eyes right about here. So if I were to take half and half, yep, that's about right. So at the halfway mark, right about here. So let's get our oval. Let's get our oval. And then if you really want to be picky, the width of the eye, 1, 2, it starts here. And then you have to make it the same width. This is something I said I would not do. When you draw or create art, if you can do it when there's no video playing or whatever, let your mind be free, you'll be in right brain mode. I'm in left brain mode because I am watching a monitor in front of me. I've got a camera on top and I'm watching a timer for watching my time. So this is where I end up doing the measurements. So technically this face is too narrow because it's the width of an eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's off the page, I don't care. I'm going to come down with a bit of the shadow. Let's get the nose built up. Okay. And now we're going to draw our eye. Okay, it's very hard to see right now. And I'm not going to worry about the gleam because I can add it in with acrylic paint. And then the other eye. Like a big U. Like a nice big U. And then almost, it's like almost like another U, but fill that in with black. And then we will add the gleam with white acrylic paint. When you get to the eye shapes, you can bring this in just a little bit more. Straighten that out, you'll get sexy, dreamy eyes. And the whole thing about this one is together we can dream. When I dream about reading music, and this is what all this is about. So it's together we can dream. Dream about what can be, what is, what you want to change. Lips. Oh, I love drawing lips. Lips, you can really... lips, easy. The outside of the lips need to measure, again, a bit more realistic stuff. The edge of the eye all the way down, that's where the lips should meet. Where's the lips? Okay, so they'll come out to here. And there's the center right there. And then what I like to do is think of a little gut valley. Let me see if I can get a close-up. I don't think the camera's going to focus on this very well. Think of a little valley. So you got the valley, the mountain, and then you got the ski slope coming down the mountain. Well, that's too pointy, but we can fix that. So there's the valley, the mountain, and it comes down. We're going to make sexy lips. Can you see the face already? Oh. And then think of, okay, well, we have now this, you're basically almost going to replicate what's up here, but just a bit softer. There's a valley, a mountain, and there's the ski slope. I've got here, I don't know if you can see, there's a lump of something. It's the crack from here. That'll even make it even more interesting than the lip. So you can sort of here, flatten this out just a little bit, and then kind of go flat, round, and up. And then flat, round, and up. And then it's going to be shadowed right under here. See? And then you just make a couple little lines here. This is where the actual lips will form. Then here, depending if you want it to be sad, you can leave it that, or you can curve this part here up a little bit to make her smile. I'm actually liking exactly what I have. But this little line, tilt it up a bit if you want to make her smile. You can turn it down a bit if you want to make it look like she's frowning a little bit. Beautiful. Let's see, can I color her in with red? Okay, just a little bit of red. This is actually, what is this, carmine red. I don't know how much of this will work with the watercolor pencils. We'll see. It'll be very transparent, which is what I want. Carmine red, then come in with crimson red. Crimson red strictly for the shadows. So think of the lips being formed. You're going to be adding the dark red where there's no light. So right in here. And right in here. This part here is going to be nice and highlighted. You can also do this with colored pencil. There's no reason why you can't. This would look amazing with colored pencil. And now the eyes. I'm surprised the camera's staying that focused. Let's pray. Okay, so the eyes, you basically make them any color you want. The eyes I like doing in acrylics. I'll have to be honest with you. Blue, green. This is the actual iris that we're painting. Whatever color you want. If you think of complements, a green would be nice, but then they'll be a little dark. You know what? You try. So I'm thinking blue. So what is this? True blue. I think it's so pretty. I actually have tried replicating the color of Joe's eyes. Can't do it. He's got the most unusual color of eyes. When I keep making fun that when I actually met Joe, we actually both worked for Grandin Toy. I was in head office, and I was the accounts receivable manager there, and he was managing the big stores downtown Toronto, and I would always fight with him over the phone getting stuff done. So one day when I was out shopping, I thought, I'm going to stop in and see exactly what this guy's all about. And his eyes just captured me. I went, oh my God. And then he opened his mouth and spoke. That ruined it. That ruined it. And then 2 years after that, we got together. But I did not like him when we first met. And now we've been together 20 years. What's wrong with me? Okay, so we've got her eyes now. This is looking really pretty. Let's keep going slow. The blue might be a little bit intense. We can always knock that down a bit. So I'm not worried about that. I do want to work a little bit more on the eye, but not so much with a colored pencil. I'm thinking about going to, sorry, not with a watercolor pencil. I'm thinking more of a colored pencil, but the very thin, which is really, really strong. This is permanent. So let me just get a nice line here. Any hard pencil. I'm just defining the eyes because what I don't want to do is lose what I've done. As soon as you add water, it'll blend. But this is, you know what? This isn't taking. So I'm gonna put that back. Never mind. Let's go with the watercolor pencil. Yeah, that's working. Anytime you've got something where you really like what you've gotten, then just stick with it. The eyes are a bit different. Does it matter? Not really, but I'm going to knock that down a bit. This is why doing the initial sketch is very important. And let's get some shadow. This is where the charcoal would come in for the shadowing. And the nose. The nose, right about. So let's say if we have the shadow right about here. So if we're thinking the nose, let's just kind of make the little divot here, the nostrils. And same thing with the nose. The round part of the nose is actually supposed to meet with the corner of the eye. Keeping in mind that we're not making a perfect face. I am spending a lot more time on this than I should be. The only thing I say is basically if you get the alignment, eyes to the edge of the mouth, the nose to the edge of the eyes, here come down, traipse that out a bit, and you can make your final adjustments through that. And eventually I will be able to get those, the truly fantasy style faces. Like, look at that, beautiful. Wow. Holy smokies. All right. I could end this right here. I could end this right here. Let's get this. So doing a sketch with the watercolor pencils is a nice way because you can always erase those lines really easy. And what I'll do is I'll show you by using that Prussian blue for the hair. I'll show you about using that Prussian blue for the hair. So see here, I made that, there's a line here. Now where's, okay, Q-tip, can't find it. So if I go to a round brush, which still has Prussian blue in it, and I can come in, there, it's all gone. See? She's really thin, very, very thin. Whether she's thin or she's larger built, it doesn't matter. And then long neck, and you're thinking her cleavage will be right about here somewhere. Okay, and then I'm going to put the butterfly right smack dab in the middle. You know what? Let me do that. I'm using the StazOn, and I want to thank Mary for sending this to me because I couldn't find it. Ultimately permanent, and I love the smell. It's solvent based, but I love the smell. Right down to the bottom. Like so. Okay, and I am infatuated with butterflies. I love butterflies. Love, love, love. And then my signature, where is it? I have, let me just show you. On the back of all my journal pages, and then we'll take a G and I will stamp right over the G. like that. So it's the butterfly with the G. And actually at the end I may show you another journal page for another project we're going to do for the Doug portion. I may bring that one out. I don't want to bring out too much stuff too early. Okay. So, okay, this is actually looking pretty good. This is the hairline, so we can bring this out any way you want. And the eyebrows. The upper lid, forgot the upper lid. The eyebrows. And the upper lid. I'm going to let that dry a bit. And oh, for goodness sakes, if you're not comfortable drawing this way, you're contorting, turn your piece. Turn your piece, turn your piece. Do not try to draw a certain way that you always have to have it facing you. Be comfortable. I'm doing it this way to try to so you can see everything. This is fairly dark. Okay, I don't want to lighten up the brightness on the camera because the colors won't be realistic then, because this is very, very dark. Excuse me. I'm liking that. And then of course we have shading going on down here. We have shading going on down here. So her hair is actually going to cover a little bit of her face, and then we can put in eyelashes. Oh, that's not quite dry yet. Eyelashes don't have to be perfect lines. You just want to make the indication of eyelashes. Same with here. Just the indication. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can feel the page underneath affecting how the drawing is taking place. I'm going to go around, see the iris. I can't get this one round. There's a flippin' lump under here. So then I'm trying to compensate here. Like, there is something about having imperfect faces, but then there's having some that are more like abstract. I know what I want to show. Okay, this is going to be, I forgot that, so people have been asking me about Spectrafix. Let me show you something. I was trying to explain to people, I have Spectrafix made up in a ball, but I also have to make it up in a jar. People are asking me about Spectrafix. It is not so much weaker. With aerosol fixative, you can spray, you'll probably get a full layer of coverage. The problem is with aerosol, I don't care what anybody says, you cannot use aerosol products like fixative indoors. You must use that outdoors, okay? Spectrafix is non-toxic. You can use that indoors, and I actually teach my younger students, the youngest, the youngest. I mean, my granddaughter who's 3 and supervised, this to protect her little watercolor and gouache paintings. You can also use this. I mean, I've used it with oils to protect the base, acrylics, watercolors, drawings, whatever. But what you can do with this, which is what I love about this, because you can put it into an open container, you be prepared up front. And you want to get a brush that's not too soft, but something that's going to give you enough bounce. Bear with me. Sorry, I hate doing this while keeping you guys waiting on camera. Going to go right into the Spectrafix, okay, then go over the eye, the pupil. That will fix the pupil. The iris will not be fixed, which leaves me, because I'm not sure if I like that blue to be too deep. I may end up removing some of that with water, but the pupil will be fixed. You can also, if you want, paint it with acrylic. But just to show you, I was trying to explain this and I couldn't explain it properly. You can only do so much in an email. You have to show it. But with this here, to compare SpectraFix, is that I would say you need an extra layer or two with SpectraFix, because you should be doing it in between pieces. And also with the spray bottles, you're not going to get that same fine mist as you do with aerosol cans. Aerosol cans, you do get that fine mist. Always start off the project, get your spray going, then come over and move your hand. Don't move the can this way, go like this to get an even layer. Read the directions on the can, and again, outside. Unless you've got one of those expensive industrial filtering systems, you must use aerosol fixative outside. Low odor means nothing. It's still toxic. Same thing with odorless turpentine and stuff like that, or odorless mirror spray. That means nothing. That just means it doesn't smell. It's still toxic in the air. Life's too short. Life's too short. So, neat, eh? Now I can take the SpectraFix and I can come in and now, so things that I want to keep, there's that darn lump from underneath. Things that I want to keep, come in and I will outline them. I'll bring this down just a little bit more for the shadow. Okay. Now this is a number zero wet. SG250. Number 0, this is a round brush. And it's got some good substance to it. Now, although I'm not sure about the blue in the iris, I do know that the ring around the eye is what I want to keep. Okay, we will dab a speck of white acrylic paint or even gesso over that. The eye is a little bit oblong. It's a little bit off here. I will try to adjust that. Now you can easily do this with acrylics. I'm not saying you have to do it with watercolor pencils. I'm just trying to give you guys, this is all about technique. You just take it and go with it. And gone are the days, they're in the past, of me doing 30-minute videos, like full lesson videos. Those days are gone. There we go. There are far too many people out there that are learning. And now I can see a big, huge mistake here. How am I going to, which eye do I like better, that one or that one? I like this one better. So now I have to fix this up. It's because this is a bit thicker. I'm not wanting to match exactly, but I do want to get them somewhat similar to reduce the space in between here. And this is where I might have to come in with acrylic paint to go over the black. Yeah, there's a lot of beginners out there, and I would rather, in all honesty, I'm not knocking my advanced students, I would rather attract the beginners, because once you get a beginner, well, hooked on art, I guess is the best way to do it, to say it, then that's a good thing. Okay, and then we have the lid here. This is all just, I'm just basically going over with SpectraFix with a good brush, which will allow me to get the nice detail. But if you're not sure about what you're doing, oh, I put a little bit too much SpectraFix on there. It's smudged the eye. So what do? I blot. Don't rub. Blot. And now, do not go back over though with your colored pencil on top of this, because if you get SpectraFix in the colored pencil, you're going to ruin your pencil. You have to sharpen it down to get rid of everything. If you're not comfortable with fixing it right away at this point, then all to do is just do this step here with water. You do not have to do this with fixative at this point. And the nostril needs to be black, black. The lips, I am going to fix the lips. And to rinse, I'm not going in water. I'm actually going to Spectrafix and in the paper towel. And I'm going to fix the inside. I may have to go to a little bit of acrylic, depending. I'm trying to avoid the black because I want this to dry, then I'll fix the black. I want to avoid getting any black smudges. Whoopsie. Got a little bit there, oh no. It's actually not too bad. But again, you could always come in with acrylics. It's not the end of the world. I just hope that you guys can see everything okay. I'm trying to be conscious to watch the monitor so you guys don't lose anything. Sometimes I don't look at the monitor enough. There we go. And then from up here, just little lines, which is just the little creases from the bottom lip. Oh, I need to take my glasses off. Believe it or not, I should take my glasses off to get really close to this because I can't see what I'm doing. You would not believe how stressful this is right now because I can't. I'm hoping you guys can see. I'm trying to look, and I'm kind of looking underneath my glasses so I can. I remember going to the eye doctor to say, when I was doing my paintings on canvases, I had to, and these are the glasses that I'm still wearing, is basically painting on canvas, and my eyes have changed. They're actually getting better, which is a good thing. There we go. And now the shadow, I'm not going to do that with Spectrafix. I'm just going to grab a little bit of water, and I'm just going to get a little bit of water and baby wipe and blot. Baby wipe and blot. A little bit too much watercolor pencil there, and blot. There we go. And just move it around a little bit. There we are. Put that bridge of that nose there. And then I can go to a, let's see, I should be using my actual Aqualon brushes for this. And there we are. Beautiful, isn't she? Wow. Now I'm coming in with water. And I'm just coming in, and I'm going to paint the part of her hair right here so I can come in, touch, push, lift, touch, push, lift. If you've taken my drawing classes, you know what that means, my airplane stroke. If you have water brushes, these are really, really cool. They come in 3 different tips, and you fill them with water. I'm going to squeeze off to get that flowing. Oh, that's got dried paint in it. Ooh, not going to use that. That's got dried paint in it. That's got paint in it. There we go. And you can squeeze a bit and use that. And just come down a little bit more. And bring her hairline down just a little bit more. So you can use the water brushes too. Let's get a little bit of a shadow in here. I need to make a slight correction. I'm trying to make a slight correction in there. And this is all shadow under here. This is all shadow. Big brush, big brush, big brush. You see a little bit of the green showing through. That's fine. And now whether or not you want to stick with the acrylics or not, you can take your watercolor pencil, go right into the wet paper to get some nice detail. Let's wet the paper a little bit more. And come in. And you can just come in and just finish drawing with this. What you can also do, which is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to come in with Prussian blue hue, the paint. Because I want to be able to pull that beautiful highlight in her hair. So we will need a little bit of blue to start, and then we'll use white after. And I can go with like a number 8 round. And the dark basically will just basically be that. It'll just be the dark. And I'm not going to cover everything, but I will come in to get the hairline started. Just get that blocked in. And that comes down, and we'll have some hair in the background. A little bit of water. Okay, let me blot that out. There we go. Something like that. We have a hard line here now where her face is. So we'll just have to define this a little bit more. Like so. Okay. There we are. And I try to keep this loose and free. I want to avoid the butterfly though. I don't want to cover up the butterfly. So I could choose to drape her hair over her body, or just go behind the butterfly, which is really the only option I have at this point. I will lose a little bit of the butterfly, but let's just fade that out. There we go. You know, put a little bit of hair draping slightly over her shoulder. Try to keep it wispy. Much darker in the back where her neck is. That's the hair in the back. There won't be a terrible amount of highlights on that. See, there we go. You can see that. So the idea for this piece here is just somebody who, you know, free to dream of what we can be, and dream and then do. Without dreams and goals and stuff like that, we'd have a boring world. I have a blick there. What's that blick from? Oh, from another crack in the back, where the paint doesn't quite go on the same as everything else. Okay. Thinking now, I could have made her even a little bit smaller, because now I've really lost the butterfly. If it bothers me too much, I'm not too worried about it. I can always put an embellishment of a butterfly, which may be what I'll end up doing. Yeah, liking that. Now, let's see what we can do with her eyes. This is the moment of truth, but when using watercolors, I'm just using a brush dampened with water now. When you're using watercolors or watercolor pencil or gouache, you can always cover it up with acrylic, so don't get all in a panic if it doesn't turn out. And I will end up having to come with acrylics with this one. The watercolor pencil just will not cover the black. But this one here, the black is mixed in a little bit, and this is actually toning down the blue. Yeah, I'm going to come in with blue acrylics with that. I have to go get some white paint anyways to highlight in the hair, but look how beautiful that is. You don't even need to do anything else with shadowing. Okay, and if you did want to shadow, what you can do is come in. Whoa, not that much. Not that much. If I can suck some of that back in there. You can come in with a little bit of water and transparent red iron oxide, and just add a little bit of shadowing there. You don't have to. Remember, I didn't fix this, so it is going to blend in with a little bit with the color. And I put a little bit here. Finger painting is so much fun. I just want to get a bit better outline right in here. I'm losing a little bit of her face here. A bit of shadow. And let's get a little bit of shadow in here. Here we go. You can build this up as much as you want. Just giving you the ideas of where to go from here. See, you don't have to be a portraiture artist to have fun painting faces. Start with a template and go from there. A bigger brush. Always start with a template. Shadow a little bit under here. And then fade it out. Go. Let's dry this, and then I'll come in with some white to highlight the hair a bit. I'll come in with a bit of blue to I might leave the eyes actually the way they are, but we need the white for the gleam, the highlights in the hair. I can actually punch up the lips a little bit, and then we'll put something in here. Okay, it's got some white. And move this out of the way, move that out of the way. And we want I love my Fabulous Point Liner for highlights, but it might be too fine. That's too small. Oh, you know what I need to get? I need to get I don't know if I have it here, a comb brush to show you how to get, I do have one. Show you how you can get some really cool things. So this is a comb brush. What it is, a brush that's long, and then they've trimmed down the bristles here. So this is another technique. I teach this when people do the my pet portrait classes, is that this is a really nice way to get hair. So why don't I just do this now? And we want to start off with a couple of values. We've got our dark, we've got our mid, and we've got our light, and then our extreme light. The key when working with a comb brush or a rake brush, depending on what you're using, is that the paint needs to be fluid enough but not saturate the bristles. So as you make your strokes, you're going to get like that. Keeping in mind this is a no-stick mat. But you start off dark. And we're not painting everywhere. Just getting this going because the part in her hair needs to be dark. We're going to be doing this wet on wet. So just let me get this started. Don't do a solid layer though of dark. Okay, then we can come in with a little bit of light, and the bristles create these nice little individual pockets of hair. I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can get a, see? You don't want to do this too much though. That's why you go in with the dark and you work. And then bring the dark back in there. This is with Prussian blue hue. And let's not leave this gap here that looks like her face is cut off. Let's put a wispy hair here. Just kind of come in with the dark and just kind of go the opposite way. You want to make sure that her hair completely covers that up. There we go. See? And now if I want to overlap this, I can come in. I'm going to do this so you can see. Her part's a little bit crooked. It's actually, her part's not crooked. My part's crooked in my hair too. You're going to be going like this way. So we did it this way, now you're going to go this way, but you won't be able to see. So I'm going to turn my paper a little bit. Here we go. So get it going. With wet on wet, you can just pick up white and it'll fix that up. Then I can come in and then just with the dark, just refine that part if it's important to you. I should get my easel out for this. It'll be so much easier. Come in with a little bit of white. I know I'm in your way now, sorry. Don't forget, acrylics also will dry darker. There we go. Get a light in there. You can't see. You can't see. Okay, I'm gonna have to back up a bit. I can't paint upside down like that. Now if I want to create an actual where the hair is overflowing, so I'm going to come in with a little bit more dark in here. Then a little bit of light, and with the light, I'll just bring the light right over the hair like this. We'll glaze this as well, which will make a really cool effect. Oh, now if you don't have a rake brush, a round brush or a filbert is your friend. So a round brush, because a round brush you can just wiggle and make it flat, or you roll it and then you can make a fine line. So same thing. And if you're painting and you find that the paint just isn't flowing, add a little bit more water. And it'll flow. It'll flow. I am going to make a really, really dark patch, or a really, really light patch to show you about glazing. I want to show you some glazing. I've always dreamed of having blue hair. I've seen some people like with the blue highlights in her hair, and it's so beautiful. Oh, people do stare at them though, but it is quite beautiful. I tried having my hair auburn at one point, and it was too much to maintain, and now I just let my hair be natural, and it's gray except for the back. I've heard people say, how do you get your hair to be dark layered in the back where your gray is just on top? I said, that's just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to make a really, really bright patch here. So I'm going to show you what glazing will do to this. And you can choose to leave it this way if you want, but I want to show you the glazing. I do, though, have to finagle this so it makes more sense. Because in the part it's darker. Glazing, the perfect way to glaze is that your underlying strokes will show, but you will be changing the color. Okay, now when I say changing the colors, that we're going to be doing layering with the glazing, and you're going to get optical color mixing. Optical color mixing is with the layers. Physical color mixing is when you're mixing on your palette. Glazing works much better when you've got light colors and then you put dark colors over those light colors. And the more glazes you put on, the darker your piece gets. So these clumps of white in that's just going to add to our painting. A bit of water. I know she kind of looks freaky right now, but just bear with me. And you don't have to do this. I'm focusing on technique. That's a bit too bold. And just come in this way, touch, push, lift, touch, push, lift, touch, push, lift. And the mop brush will come in handy in just a second. Okay, I'm going to get a smaller one. And I'm just going to touch and feather, just kiss the surface, and just do a light, slow drag. Not anything too bad, just light blending. Okay, and we need let's get a little bit of dark in there. Whatever you glaze with is going to show through. So if you're going to be glazing with orange, when you layer orange and blue together, you're going to get mud. So a nice color to glaze with this would be either alizarin crimson, and then the highlights will turn purple. We do need to feather in some darks though. Oh, here comes Mia, and she's going straight to the color mixing book I put on the floor. There we go. Okay. So now let's dry this, and then we come back, I'll glaze over with, oh, she just put her Kong on top of the color book, the color mixing book, which is full of paint. Okay, I have to go clean her Kong now. Yeah, so we'll let this dry, and then we'll glaze over, and I am going to use alizarin crimson.